Very important. I want to conclude this. I want to give you a finished product. So we need to really, really push. That's something called the Planck time. You know what that is? Who knows that? What is the Planck time? Planck time. Max Planck was a physicist in the 30s in Germany, and he postulated that there's such things as the Planck time. That is the time or the frequency where time and space stop existing. And that feels like in this room right now we have the Planck time. It's without time and space, it's crazy. You need to read up on that. They have in CERN now proven in theory, they have the frequency, it's 0.43 zeros and a 4 in the end. That's the time, the frequency where time and space stop being existing. So it's proven scientifically. They can calculate that now based on the particle. Anyhow, this happened just in this room, so that's why we're so late. I can't help it. It's the Planck time. But I need to give you a finished product. What we just did is the reconnecting with the divine powers. We have been disconnected for many thousand years, or even million of years. And some people even felt it. How are you doing now? Yeah? You want to share real quick? I don't want to put you on the spot.
I had a really, really severe reaction when Alex was working with that woman. And I just had this wave of just wanted to cry and just couldn't understand where it came from. So it was like I was opening up at the same time, and so I went to Alex, and he kind of helped soothe me. Thank you.
I didn't want to do this to brag. I wanted to show you what can happen. And if you do this procedure, you're really reconnecting with the divine, and there will be, for a lot of people, this sweet, sour feeling. You could cry like crazy, and then it's on the same time, it's very joyful, jubilant. It's the reconnecting. At the same time, it's the pain of the thousands of years being alone and separated from the divine, and it really goes back to the sinfall, okay? So, yes?
You know why you feel better after you cry? You can't have rainbows in your heart, so you water your soul with tears.
Okay, very good, thank you. So, good. After we did this, and this should be always the same procedure, and you need to be prepared for reactions like that. You hold the people, you hug them, and you tell them you're reconnecting, okay? And then they feel safe. And you probably had experiences, as I said, that you can do it now with your clients, because you will have people gravitate to you that want to do that, and you need to be prepared to catch them. And it's completely normal. I went through the process. I knew exactly what you felt. And it's a very strange feeling. It's this sweet, sour, what? Am I happy? Am I sad? What is going on here? It's very confusing. Okay, we leave here. And the next thing is we need to turn the chakras. So when you open the chakras, just doing that, it's not even, it's a third of a job, okay? And it's so crucial. Now we go to therapy page. And you've done all these panels, but I want you understand the sequence of things and why we do it, and how important it is to complete all that. So we go to Scholar, Auto. And I use always the Tweet All button. You can hit it right away. Oh, where is she? She fled the scene.
No, she's...
Jeez. Oh, you're hiding. Okay, we do it subspace. Is it okay? Well, because we shouldn't leave it like that. It's a half a whatever job. So here you can see now something interesting. The more you get these blocks, the harder is the job, and when it's full of blocks, then it's completely blocked. Let's wait for one that really is hanging. Okay? This one, for instance. Let's see. It should actually display the blocks right now, but I don't see it. Huh. Okay, we have been working a lot on the opening right now, so it seems like it works quite well. because we spend a lot of time on it. So what we're doing is the chakras, I told you, they need to turn, and every hour they turn the other way, energy in, energy out, and I will tell you where this energy actually is going. And to understand how this works is totally important. So here we had some blocks, but it's really working fast now. So there has been, I think you need to feel that, right? It's flowing much better, right? I'm surprised. You did something, did you? I did it. We did it, okay. So actually there's a couple people connecting here on the soul level. It's cool, right? So very cool. It's you will see that in training also. Sometimes people sit next to each other, never saw each other. And then when we go to the spiritual thing, they have exactly the same year. Exactly. I'm like, what the heck? Do you know each other? No. I think you do. Okay, you just saw one here that was really badly blocked with all the, and that was the root chakra, and we knew that wasn't a problem, but it opens nicely. You get here, right now you see it. These blocks here, exactly. And it's, no. Block here. So we're finished, and I'm really surprised. It went super. Yes.
Can you explain how people attract clients, certain clients to them?
We just had that discussion with, who did I talk to?
Yeah, you and I had that conversation.
Yeah. I get this thing all the time, and they say, why do I get always the same cases? Always the same thing. Because on a soul level, they know exactly where they need to go. There's the specialist for this. There's the specialist for that. And this is what I said yesterday. You don't need to worry about competition with a skill. Never, ever. Your neighbor could have a skill, and that person would have totally different clients. They gravitate to you. You don't need to worry for whatever you are specialized in. And that was given to you. That was given to you before you came here. And you're just fulfilling a job. And then they say, I always get the hard cases. Well, we all get the hard cases. The simple one, go to the doctor. So, okay, we're done. Yeah, we hit close. So now we turn to chakras, and I'm really, really speeding up here. And the next thing is, now we need to what? What's missing? Who can tell me what's missing? Meridians? Okay. We're not going to do the meridians because it's going to take time. But yes, it will be part of, that we do it in the therapy page. Go back to the therapy page. We skipped that one because you all know that. Therapy, and you do, where is it? Oh, the meridian, where is it? Oh, there. Okay, you click on auto meridian, it's boring. You know how to do that, retest all, blah, blah, blah. So, but no, what is really important now? It has to do, we did scalar.
So all you do is just treat them?
Yes, but we did a lot of work before. And we need to do it in the sequence, and we need to do the reconnecting. We put in the plug in. Okay, so you do all the Christmas lights, right? Everything, Chevy Chase, and then in the end, nothing burns because what? That one switch wasn't in, the plug in the garage. You need to plug it in, and the plugging in is when the people start crying. The plugging is when you get this weird feeling you don't know what to do. Without that, it's not happening. So yes, from here we go to, oh, you gave it away. Go back how it looks like. Yes. You must go there, and I'll tell you why. Because what are these chakras anyhow? Who can tell me how they really work? What are they doing, truthfully?
That's where energy flows in.
Energy flow in and out, I said that, yes. But what are they doing? They're spinning. I spin all day long. I don't know where I am. I always... Yeah, it's okay. I don't want to make it hard on you. Because you probably don't know. And I don't mean that bad, but you need to know. The chakras are from front and back, vortices, like stargates. They connect you to the different dimensions. And if you feel out there, you can actually feel what was called the bodies in esoteric language. We have several bodies, right? I never understood that. Truthfully, it's the dimensions. How many dimensions are there? 4? 144. According to Kabbalah. Okay. I'm going with Stephen Hawking. What did Stephen Hawking say? Who knows? 4? 3? 12? There's not many numbers left. He said 11. 11, now you think, okay, this esoteric stuff. Please go on Wiki, type in M theory. There's the mathematic foundation from Stephen Hawking. He sold 7 billion books or something. One third of mankind read his books. He actually there was 10 dimensions, and then because of the supraconductivity and supragravity, they had to add an 11th. So is there 11? Is that true? Not true. How many are there? 12. There are 12 dimensions. And they're scientifically, in theory, proven, okay? Now, of course, there's a lot of people who say, there's 3 dimensions, there's time, and that's it. Okay, fine. Stephen Hawking clearly says there's 11. The 12th is the divine. Yes?
There's something else where there's realms. Are there 12 realms?
Whatever you want to call it. It's 12 dimensions. If you want to see it technically, physically, from a physical point, there's 12 dimensions.
Shall I hit start again?
Yes, please. Hang on just a second. What you see in here is now all the dimensions. You see the problems. In which dimension you have a problem. So when we hit in the morphic sub, everybody knows how to get to this panel? Can you go out one more time and show how it's hidden? It's hidden so the normal people don't freak out when we talk about. I think the time is here that we can accept there's 12 dimensions. And please read it on Wiki. There's M theory, there's the explanation, the mathematical explanation why there must be at least 11 dimensions, but it's 12. And don't limit yourself to what you can touch and what you can feel. So if you hit start in this panel, and it's on the submorphic trans panel, and it's hidden, you have to roll over to see it. Are you cool with that now? Everybody knows where it is? It's integral part of opening the chakras, because now you reconnecting to the dimensions. Each chakra, we have 7 main chakras that are in the body. We have 5 extra chakras that are above the body, energetically, or below the root chakra. These chakras transfer energy in and out, and like I said, vortexes or little stargates, or NASA has confirmed stargates around Earth, and they call them X-points. You can read up on that. Magnetic aberrations close to Earth. Okay, who had, was it last Tuesday or Tuesday before, Monday, Tuesday, temporal anomaly? Who had in the Skio message temporal anomaly? Let me see. Anomaly, yes. What is it? What happened there? What happened there? Yeah, I mean, a lot of people on Facebook, it was like, wow. How cool is that? I had a great day and I had a wonderful session, and this is very special energy flowing. I'm not making fun of it, but why don't you just go on the internet and type in temporal anomaly? It's so simple, and it will tell you it's a disruption of the space-time continuum. Michael J. Fox. So, what is that? If you, let me see that Can you click on the desktop here, right over here, on the very outside? One more. To the right, here. All the way out. Click there. No, further. At the edge. Further. At the edge.
It's
Yeah, here. This little bar here. Yeah, click. Okay. I thought it was a different image. So anyhow, let's imagine you have a lake. There's no wind. It's totally calm. You get these beautiful pictures where you can see the mountains mirrored in the lake. You throw a rock in there, one rock, you will have this blob in there, and then you will have waves go out. This is how you can envision a time-space continuum disruption. So what does that mean? What happened that Monday and Tuesday? We had so if you read, it's really like the Wild Wild West, and if you read on Facebook what people say it is, why don't you go on the internet and look up what it is? It's a time-space disruption, time-space continuum disruption. So I have the solution for you. Somebody used the Stargate. Isn't that cool that our device can measure that? How wicked is that? So some visitors came or left. And we're living in a very special time. And I'm not crazy. Just read it, okay? And if NASA confirms X points, and if you read closely what they are, they're magnetic aberrations in the field of Earth that cannot be explained, they know exactly what it is, okay? So real quick, what is this actually? The space is not straight. Space, you can imagine space is like this, okay? I don't get this here, right? Other way? Okay. So I just need to get this here, right? This way. This is space, and I'm disrupting anti-space. I get the microphone. Okay, so now, do you feel it? I just wrapped space. Okay, the reason why I want to show you is what is a Stargate for? We want to travel to Mars, and it's like 6 months and whatnot, and that's going to be really blah blah blah, and we cannot go anywhere else. We can look in the stars, we never can get there. Yes, if you travel outside, if you go around here and around here and around here, a smart dude drills a hole through here and goes directly. Okay. So that's what Stargates are for, and I know it's all crazy, but you carry, and we are interdimensional beings. We exist in other dimensions, and this is the connection. The chakras are the connections, and if they're not open, there's no energy transfer in and out. You have this severe disease, and you would like to fix that. If you don't start on the top, you will not fix that disease, okay? So this submorphic panel does that job. It reconnects the vacuum here to the other dimension. That means, for instance, a lot of times I say, a tumor is just bad energy. Because what is it? You cut it out and then it comes right next to it. Because it's laughing at it, it's still there. So, a lot of times reconnecting, you can let this bad energy flow out. And of course everything is being done to stop that. With stress, with chemical impact, everything, toxins, whatnot, that doesn't work. So when you open the chakras, and you don't open the dimensions, you have not done the job. Because everything's fine, but where does it flow to? And where does it come from? You have to open the dimensions. It's absolutely, you type in 12-dimensional model and you will see it on the internet, graphics, everything. And it's just really the way it is. And we used to him-haw around and everything, and I think it's boring. I think you're ready for it, so let's do it. Okay, so that concludes the energy flow thing. There's, of course, many more things, but this is, yeah.
So, would it be better to do the submorphic transfer first?
No, at the end. At the end. First do everything close to the body, and then finally open the gates. Okay? the floodgates. Okay, now what we need to do is one more thing, karmic, and then I'm done. Don't kick me out yet. Right? So go back. Close panel. Don't close clasp. Close panel. Okay, and the last thing I want to show you, how do I deal with karmic issues? Because a lot of times when these souls come to you and get into you and whatever, they just want to finally resolve something. We go to anti-aging, and I have to rush this right now, I'm sorry. But you need to have the skills to do this, okay? Program, aging. Okay, now the yellow panel, you hit close. And hang on, where's my pointer? What is that? Oh, yeah. I need to, okay. Here, see that? See this button here? No, the one above. No. You don't see it? You don't see it? You have to open it somehow. With the atom. Okay, what do I need to do with the atom? You click until you can see it. See, there it is. Past life program. Again, it's hidden for people not freaking out. So click on past life program. Are we allowed to do that? Yeah? Okay. What we need to enter is primary conflict. Do you have anything that you would put in there that you would share with everybody or not? Like fear, anger, love. An issue that bothers you. It doesn't worry. Okay, so type in worry, please. Yeah. The fingers don't want to do it. So, and then you click Start Unconscious Choice. This panel is so helpful and it's so accurate if you do it right. It's amazing. We have found stuff on Wikipedia, the right year, the right story, unbelievable. I have a little bit of problem with the continent, but other than that, as Desi said, yeah, it's an older algorithm and needs to be fixed. So here you get valuable information. It happened in 849, so medieval times.
894. 894.
894,
You said
okay.
849.
I'm spinning. You were a male. We come in all kinds of fashions. That's why Desi is maybe not that crazy.
What happened?
Just click past life again. So, okay, you were dealing in financial. This is very important because at those times, whoever dealt with financial was, not the best profession to be in. So people say when it says there, oh, I was a servant, I was nothing. You were lucky because probably you didn't screw up a whole lot. I'm serious. In that time, being involved in financial business is difficult. So it was in Europe. The emotion projection. What is projection? You know, like a projector, you project your problems onto somebody else and see it there. And that poor person walks. So I walk through the picture now. Here. I'm walking through the picture and you see that on me. But I'm not the matrix. Okay? But we treat the people, we see the problem there, and then that person becomes the problem. That's projection. You know, we have to realize it's me, what I'm seeing there. And that poor person doesn't even know. Anyhow, so let's click on release conflict. Now you should, this is really important. Now this is, for this to work, you really have to release all negativity, chill, relax, and let it go. Let it all go. So here now, guilt burden detected. Now we come back to the financial business and guilt burden detected. So there's something weighing on you, okay? And the thing is, we all screwed up. We all played on the dark side, you know. We had to, in order to appreciate summer, you had to experience winter, you know. So there's nobody here on earth that hasn't been on both sides. Okay, so it says no difficulty in correction procedure. Smaller skirmishes can be resolved through the computer. The big stuff, you get enough data to take it from there, and they will tell you the souls have to meet and resolve. Okay? This is purpose of life. I've asked you, we never got to it. And Adam told us it's about fun and party and smoking and beer. It's sure part of it, but it's not the purpose. The purpose of life, I'm going to cut it short, is that we fix old stuff, learn new stuff, and ascend, and ascend, and ascend. That's why we're here. We're not here to get houses and cars and get some medals and get some gold, and they couldn't care less up there. They could not care less how many titles you have here. So here we can fix minor things. Bigger things we cannot just click, because if that would work, oh my God. I would have sat the first 10 years of my life on that delete button. Okay? So, but smaller, and then there's something very interesting. It might happen now or not. But if you see spiritual confounding spiritual energy present, the other soul is here. Then you have a chance to do it because they connect on a soul level. Really cool. Maybe if we see it. Let's click release again. Maybe we see it. Maybe not. Confounding spiritual energies present. Confusing, crazy.
Confounding.
And if that's, most of the time the soul is here. And then the two souls are prepared while you do that on a soul level, do this without you having to do a regression or something. I'm talking about the two souls. If here comes some, hey, I knew that it would come. I'm not crazy. I knew. So you have now the great chance, clicking the button, and you might feel it. And somebody is in the room here, and they're talking on a soul level, and they will resolve. And you have one thing less to worry. I get 5 gummy bears for that. Yes, now you see, this is a major issue. And I told you, major issues, you cannot just, okay, what's your feelings right now? Just shoot it out. Calm. Okay? Good. Yeah. So she's getting calm. So write down calmness. So, and then release conflict. So now you have the extraordinary chance that the two souls, they are in the room here somewhere, and maybe somebody feels it, will negotiate the whole deal without you having to do regression and lengthy process resolving that. It's a gift. You're getting a gift today, and you will feel it. So, social crime detected. Okay, this is a nice saying for somebody killed somebody. So it's a major thing that happened there. So hit, release, conflict. And you are really, really now witnessing something that rarely ever happens. Most of the time you will have, as a therapist, to do the job or get somebody involved who can do it, so the souls can talk with each other. Correctable.
When you're talking about that, are you talking about like a hypnosis type?
No hypnosis. No, not hypnosis, because you're manipulating people. We're bringing the people in a half alpha state, half alpha state, right around 6 hertz, and they can temporarily see whether their pineal is open or not. You get them into that state, and actually there is even the button to do that. However, if you want to do that, you need to really be trained to do that, because you are responsible for the security during that time and space travel of the client. And if you don't have proper training, don't do it, because you need to get protection. You need to know where you have to get the hell out of it. I've been in the pyramids in Egypt energetically, and there were hundreds of dark forces coming, and you need to know how to get the heck out of there, because believe it or not, you can energetically die. So it's not fun. It's not a toy. It's very powerful. You do it right, you can help a lot of people, but don't horse around with that. Actually, Kate Perry sings about that. Dark horse. So you want to play with magic. I'm going to come like a dark horse at you. Listen to that song. It's exactly about that. Watch that video. So, and she knows.
Can't you extricate that force,
Can I?
extricate,
Yeah, of course you can, but you need to know how. You need to have really good training on that, because otherwise don't do it. If you don't know how to get the heck out of there and how you can get protection and what is dangerous and what not. I went to very expensive seminars. I'm not saying that you need to do that, and I thought most of it were bullshit, but I collected the gems everywhere, and there was always a little bit of truth. And so one seminar I will not do, because you get just opinion of this person and you don't know. And also it's all manipulated, and a lot of people tell you things that are just crazy. You know how life is. Shift to social concern.
Wait, before you go on, for home use, white sage and a white candle. You can burn sage before and after to clear, and as you're doing it, burn a white candle.
Yeah. It's working. It's good. Until you,
And
until.
rose, angels love rose.
Yes, of course. And all this is great. I'm not minimizing that. But once you the first time deal with the Dark One himself, you will see that.
No, we don't want to do that. That's your job.
I'm telling you, when you do stuff like that, thank you.
It will happen if you dabble without the training, and you have to know how to get out. You can lose people forever.
I'm so unfamiliar with this conversation.
I know, and it's a really big conversation. Yes, ma'am, it is.
So when you're talking about the training, what are the steps that one
Oh.
can go through if they're called to this? Because I say called to this because not everybody's going to be called to this work.
Well, here's one thing. You at least dabble to get your feet wet and see what are these crazy people doing there. And but maybe you have an idea, because in the U.S. I don't know anybody. And what we have designed is a training that picks up at this panel. This training is called What Now? Okay? And what we do is we train people how we continue after that. I'm actually in the last panel, don't freak out. But we have to finish this now, and I have to push on because it's a half a job. We have now shift to social concern. So concern. So you should, social concern is connecting now, okay? Connect with the soul. Try to connect with the soul. Close your eyes. And try to feel the pain. This is what you need to do. Because only if you feel it in your heart, it will work. Because the only truth sits in your heart, not in your verbal mind. Can you feel it? It's a great opportunity. Southern France. It's hard, I know, but you feel it. You can click now. She's feeling it. If she feels it, it's true. Okay? That's all that's requested. Don't worry, it's okay. It's really okay. So release conflict. So we're done. One more time. We need to get finished here. But you see, she clearly can feel what happened. I don't need to go into it. This is the great benefit of this panel. if you get the spiritual confounding, you have the other soul present, she can do it now. It's a wonderful thing, and probably did. Oh, it's just Harvey. Okay, one more time, release. We're in the middle of releasing this right now, and you are witnessing this. This is great. It's absolutely great. Difficult, release, continue. Please focus one more time. We don't want to lose it. Close your eyes. Release one more time. Oh, it's working. Sorry, it's working. So I know this is pretty heavy duty here, this panel, but I felt like without that, it's not complete. If you have further questions, you need to contact me or contact somebody in the US. I don't want to push you or anything, but I thought you needed to know that. And of course, some of you might just think, what the heck?
You can't release anymore.
Ah, incorrectable. Too noisy here, sorry too. But you're close, and what you can do is, if you, right after the session, if you take a quiet space, the soul is here, connect it, fix it, apologize. You know the Ho'oponopo? Ho'oponopo? Yeah. Would you help her? Okay. But still, she might be helpful for you if you have somebody so you can chill. So it didn't quite work. I was afraid of that. Actually, I knew it before because it's also pressure and time and whatnot. So we're done with this section. Again, if it's not correctable, I think the soul is in here and she will be able to do it. It's you, isn't it? I knew it. Here, you guys, you hook up after the break. It's good. It's good. It's going to be resolved. It's good. It's good. It's good. Yes? There's something going on here, huh? It's major, but it's... Okay. I think you two... You connect a little bit and afterwards, and you finish that, and it's going to be totally fine. I know that. Yes. Yes. If you give it back. So I need to continue.
I know. I just got to say this fast because I'm going to say in my speech, Alec taught you this, except for the fact is, what I've learned is if it's incorrectable, go out of the program, go back in, you'll get another year and run it again, and you will get it corrected if you keep doing that. You won't have to leave it uncorrected.
Oh, we definitely don't leave it uncorrected, but the two souls involved are here, and they're going to sit together, and it's going to be a beautiful thing because they're probably totally from different places and you never would have met. And I'm telling you that you're actually resolving another conflict there, because you get a different year. And that, yes, you can do, but the first thing is not corrected that way. Yes?
I have hope now. I saw something and coming back. And as those souls that were killed without mercy are going to be, in this time, in the bodies of persons, they are going to try to kill another one. So probably that will help them and stop them to do it. So for me, it's hope.
But trust me, you guys hug later and it's going to be fine. It's going to be fine for you too. You know that you were the victim, right? So anyhow, amazing. This is great that you can witness stuff like that. You know, we smelled already that something going on in the room, and then you can see this. And as soon as they go outside, actually, I want to kick you out, but if you want to go now, I have a couple things. Let me finish. First of all, who has tried this here? Who has tried this here? This is crazy. If you're feeling energetic, you hook this up to the red connector with this cable, and we can actually, in the break, you can try it. I mean, this is like, you okay, this is what you need to do for test. Either you put it on somewhere where it hurts, or you stand there and you just move your hand by this here. And it feels like there's infrared light, there's UV light. It's so strong. It's so powerful. And these are crystal loaded. All these chambers are crystal loaded. They have already a base information on there. If you go by now, you feel it. But once you hook it up, it's blasting. And the cool thing for the practice is that on a knee or something, you just put it on the right height, and you point it on and start. For instance, you can do stem cell, AFE, and you can let it run forever, and it's just going to do miracles. So we have the Canon, and we have the massage thing. Now this is cool for people that have teeth problem, right? Inflammation or whatever, you can go over it. It's also good for the skin. It's good for muscles. It's good for everything that you want to do with touch. It's the same technology. This one, you just point. This one, the patient or the client, if you're not a doctor, the client, goes over this and it'll fix it. Okay, then if you go one more time real quick, I forgot that, to the chakras. No, chakra, body, scan, and face. Okay, here's the strongest protection shield in the SKIO or in the Dukta. It's the SKIO AFE treatment psychic disturbance. This button, and you need to really read all this because it's not a toy. So you click OK, and then you will see a typical AFE. AFE means autofocus exposure, and you have to start them here. If you don't click start, nothing happens. So this has to go to 100. If that person is under spiritual attack, you can test with that. Once that goes on 100, they're basically in a steel ball, and you can't, if you can see with your third eye, you cannot look in these persons anymore. You have no access. Unfortunately, this, yes, it will get souls out of there that are in there and everything, but they can go and have a coffee and come back. Unfortunately, this is not going to fix the problem permanently, but it's at least if it's really bad, it's an instant relief. If they're really, I mean, you have no idea what people are suffering from spiritual attacks. And you can go on the internet and just read how to do it. It's amazing. You just type it in. I'm not going to tell you how to do it. I don't need that energy. You know that comes karmically back to them 7 times. So whatever they do, I wouldn't like to experience that. But a lot of people do this. One practitioner in Croatia told me, oh yeah, this is fashionable now with the young people. It used to be a cat fight in between the girls, and it used to be a bar fight in between the guys. Today you go to the medium and you say, do something about that. And of course the medium doesn't tell you that somebody has to pay the bill, and that in that case it will be usually the person that gives the order to do so. So this will be a very strong protection shield. Once that reaches 100 here, we don't want to do this right now because they need to have the access. We don't want to kick anything out. It's going to take about 5 to 10 minutes till that closes. When it's at 100, then you leave it run, because then the door is closed, nobody can get in. Strongest protection shield that you have. Okay, then close real quick and go to therapy. Last thing I want to show you, and I'm really rushing it, I know, but I want to complete it. So how it can be removed? Somebody asked me, how can we remove? You do that best in auto trivector. So there's 2 ways now. The good way, but we don't have time for that. The good way is to click on start. Let's do it. The good way, and if somebody's sitting on there, you're going to get a pink panel here which says superimposition. That's when somebody's sitting on there. When you have another energy in you or at you. And then you can click that panel so long until it turns white, 3 times white, consecutive white, not total white, 3 times in a row, then we can trust it. Not 1 time white, 3 times. So you click on that panel. It probably is not coming right now, and I really actually don't want to do it because of this soul connection here right now. We'll see where it comes up. You can force that panel with the butterfly in the corner. You can only do it once per session, so use it wisely. It will bring up the pink panel, and we will do it, but we will not treat. So this lady calls me and says, well, if it goes by the device, everybody is possessed. I said, why do you say that? Well, when I hit the butterfly, then it's always pink. Okay, you call up the panel. You don't do it that it comes by itself. You force it, and of course it's pink. You click once, and then you see the color, whether it's white or it's pink. So when you force it here, of course, everybody will get pink panel. It's not measured. It's not measured. You just call up the panel and say you want to do it directly. And a lot of times you don't have the time. A lot of times it's an emergency, you want to just do it. So the second round, when you then hit correct, that color will tell you something. Not when you load it the first time. You see a progress bar up there. Actually, the Trivector got much faster with the Mandelay software. What is much faster, right? Especially right now. So it does a lot of things here. And you know that, for instance, these yellow ones that are coming up here, they're really important. They're really correct. They're really good hints. And you click on them, you can treat them right in there. Or, okay, let's see. No, here, these. You can click in here. Unfortunately, I haven't found a way to transfer them, so you have to type them up. They're really valuable. They're always a hit. They're kind of like a little treasure chest here, chest. So, okay, we click on the, please click on the, usually you need to do 3 or 4 runs, and then maybe the thing comes, and then you know that there's a possession. Just to, well, you have to, you know, you cannot press, you have to click this button, and then you do this again. Actually, what you use the Trivector usually for, the Trivector is good short before closing a session, because it enhances the longevity of the session. It makes it much more durable, because as you can tell in here is a lot of messages coming. It fixes a lot of loose ends that you didn't have time to fix. So it's a great close to ending procedure. Yes?
Do you have to hit each one of those in the yellow individually, or?
No. That is individually, but it's a real. You can click it once right now here. It's very fast. Click on it. It gives you a hint also, respiratory. See whether you feel that right now. You should feel it, because they're always correct. Do you feel it? Yeah. They're really good. And you have 100% here. That's the rectification. And if you want to do it again, you click here and then start again. But we don't have the time anymore, so I'm rushing here like crazy. Go on this butterfly. You're forcing it to bring up the panel. You understand that? It's not measured. So click, double. So here's the panel I'm talking about. And personal oppression, spiritual superimposition, energetically detected. It did not detect it. We forced it to come. Okay? But now you could, and we're not going to do it because of the soul connection here. You could click correct, and it would start pulling this out.
Oh, he told you not to. I just told you not to.
I thought you said click correct.
No.
Okay.
No, you said click correct.
You could. I said you could. This is Harvey, my friend Harvey. Don't freak. I'm just fixing it upstairs, so it's a mistake. So yeah. So don't hit the red button. Okay, so do you understand this panel? This is how you can remove. You must take precaution with the prayer that I gave you. You will definitely will get it otherwise. Good chance, you know?
Just click on continue.
Yes, you would go now continue that you get out. But I was just saying you would usually click correct. Jeez. All right, one more thing, and we're done here. Go back to the chakras real quickly. Close. Matrix, test. Continue, test. Last thing. I forgot one thing. Okay, chakras. What did I want to show you? Oh, frick. It's gone. I don't know. It's so hectic. It's gone. Yeah. Oh, here. You might have seen a box here.
Yes. Uh-huh.
What is that?
I thought it was like a personality.
If you go on Facebook, everybody has great solutions what that is. I'll tell you what it is. It's the worst form of possession. If you have a blue box here with a red circle, that is hardcore possession. It's a blue box with red energy in there. The worst I've seen was a guy with 1, 2, 3, 4. And you find all kinds of non-substantiated explanations what that really is. But trust me, that worst form of possession that you can have. Okay? The pink panel that we did, the Pink Panther. Okay, so did I say everything? Now, can you load real quick the X test? I want to show you something in the X test. I didn't do everything with it. No, okay, there is Narayani. What number is that?
7286.
7286 is a very good help. The Narayanis, you need to check into. They're great for finding out what's wrong, just looking at it. And second, they're really great remedies. My friend Harvey did them. He got them from, tell me.
7286.
The Narayanis, where they're
No, 7286 is the number in the matrix. It's a Narayani remedy for removing superimposition. And 7287 is divine protection.
Then we go to the matrix one more time, please. Oh yeah. So here, enter data. We type in love and forgiveness. Can I type that in for you? Love and forgiveness. So it's going to help her to. There's the dog story where the dog stopped barking and stuff like that. You can reprogram patterns in the brain and everything. Never, ever, 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 ever use it for something bad. Never, ever. And what I wanted to show you, and we can do this right now for the hotel, for instance, please cleanse and protect. I'm not sure. Should we do that? Cleanse and protect from bad energies? There's no bad energies, right, in here? We can do it, right? Please cleanse and protect the Alexis Resort Hotel from negative energies. This works great for your practice. This works great for your home. This works for your car, your boat, your whatever you have. You always have to consider that there's people maybe present that it's not feeling so well for them, so you have to kind of do it, and never do anything negative. This is programmed that it cannot do negative, and it's not like, it's doing the bad thing, but the bad thing is coming from above. Okay? You do bad stuff, it comes back to you. No doubt, and we've seen it many times. We have seen it many, many times. Just don't do it. You don't know who you're messing with up there, not me. And what I'm doing right now, I'm saving my karma because I told you so. Okay? I told you, don't use it in a bad fashion. If you do it, it's not coming on me, neither the program. I did everything I could that this will not do anything bad. And it will not. But even the attempt will come back to you. So, now activate. And that's what I wanted to say. For such a session or so, this is a great tool to get you protection. Okay? And you saw it with Fernando. As soon as we did the protection, pain was out. You know how long you would have pulled manually or whatever to get this stuff out. You know how long it takes. It's awful. It works perfect. This is divine forces. Nothing beats it. So, real brief, because we have finally resolved that. You can purchase the X-Test. Usually it's 600 euros, 750 US dollar right now. Show price will be 500 US, and you will, because you pay through PayPal, you will not be required to pay sales tax. So you're getting really a deal. We can install it as soon as the payment is there. You will then receive from Germany, from Munich, the manual. You will receive the invoice, and everything is in the free and clear. If you put the expand project, it's going to help her anyhow. We can add the energy and the harmony. And so it's not that I'm pushing this, but you know what I'm using for protection now? When I do stuff like that. And I put everything in myself, the patient, the room, the house, and it works. It really works. So I hit start.
The Mandelay website to purchase it?
It's not on the Mandelay webpage. It will be, right now it's not on any webpage because our webpage is not working. Don't freak out. We had this GDPR regulation thing and we need to comply with it, and we didn't have time, so we just put a legal disclaimer on there. Next week the webpage will be up. Eventually, yes, you will be able to download it and get your activation code online. Okay, so, but for the ones that wanted to get it, for the remainder of the conference, just grab me when I'm there, pay it via PayPal. And I need to tell you something. I was, as a youngster, I was programming, and it was all really easy. You downloaded everything for free, you hacked everything, and you put your program out, and that was it. Today, you have to buy licenses left and over and right, and you have to have a lawyer, and you have to all this stuff for the license agreement, and it's just crazy. Everything is regulated and over-regulated, and so if you buy this, you're not allowed to sell it to North Korea, Iran, whatever. It's in the. But you need the lawyer makes more than the programmer. So anyhow, we have to renew this every year. We have to renew these licenses every year because you're using certain libraries, how to move a mouse and everything. You never program this from scratch today. You buy the libraries and all these licenses. So there will be an annual fee, and it's going to be $199, but it includes also upgrades. And there's no obligation. You don't like it, let it go. But and I have to tell you one thing: not even Photoshop you can buy today anymore. For that very reason, you can license it because they have wrapped their business model around it. And they found out they can make money on every software if they make it just hard enough. And so every software manufacturer has to pay these guys that actually dominate all this. It's just the way it is. So I just want you to know, we get the licensing for 1 year, and then we have to renew it, so we have to renew you guys. You can, after the years, decide I don't like it, or you get renewal for $199. And that's it. If you wanna do it, you can pay with PayPal. You get the information from me, and when I don't know whether they do it in the office or not, but latest when I'm back, you get all the paperwork and everything. So, I hope you enjoyed the show. And I need it.
You know the visuals on there?
Yes.
Is that just a visual or is there something?
It's a representation because it's a representation. It's not your heart, yes, but in a body view, it's not your heart either. And but it really, indeed, what the X-test does, it is a condition. It does a lot of renderings, and it would be a waste of computing time to do this live. It's a representation, but it's true. And you will see when the X-test runs, your CPU load goes up quite a bit. The CPU, Central Processing Unit, the load will go up substantially, and we're done. They're killing me. And also, unfortunately, it's going to use a little bit more power, but it really does a lot of computing. You can actually really see it. And it would be a total waste of time just for entertainment to do this live. So I thank you very much. You were a great crowd. Would you guys please hook up with each other? And maybe you take the nice young lady here along to help you a little bit. And we would all love to hear what happens. Just find a room, and I think it's going to be great for you too. Okay, I give it to...
Ladies and gentlemen, Bala and Alex. And Harvey? Okay, lunch. What time do we reconvene? Anybody have a schedule in front of you? Oh, till 1. Oh. What? Oh, Bala has a presentation now. Oh.
There is a lunch break.
And at 1 o'clock, there's a lunch break.
Yes.
So Bala only has a half an hour. Okay, so here's what I need. I need your full concentration for the next half hour because Bala's going to fill your brain pans with a lot of good stuff. After that, we're going to break quickly for lunch. At the lunch break, here's what I need. Please, if you haven't yet taken photographs over at the board, please, so that we can hold this moment and share it, please come out and take your photos in front of the board with whomever you like. Pick your favorites, of course. And also, we have a video camera set up. For those of you that have been using our software, please, we implore you, if you feel really happy with the service we're providing and the software we've built and the work that we're doing, please give us a video testimonial. We would really appreciate it. And we will also be getting everybody together for group photo. So I want to make sure we start doing this before we start losing people tomorrow. Some people have earlier flights, etc. But if you booked an earlier flight out tomorrow, then you're missing my lecture, and really what was the point in coming? Also, please today, if you have the opportunity or the ability, be it today at the end of the day or tomorrow first thing in the morning, please make sure you fill out your questionnaire forms so that we can get some feedback and be able to put on a better show for you next year. And again, you know what? Thank you very much to you for being here. Thank you very much for the work that you do. And thank you very much for your attention and focus as now we hand it back to Bala. And one more thing.
Can you please tell them for the X-test there's an order form to fill out, and then we handle it from there.
And if you're interested in the X-test, I believe outside to the door to the left, there is an order form set up, and I'm sure Alex will make himself available to answer any questions as they come up if you're interested in learning more about that very cool software. So, without further ado, Bala.
Hi there. This is a picture of me and Cornell back in 1997.
Holy shit. He was a boy. You were a boy. Like, I didn't realize quite you were Viventa.
1997.
were so much more handsome when we were younger. What happened? I wouldn't say that was your 25 aging relationship. He's kind of got like a Richard Gere-ish thing, like a short Hungarian Richard Gere.
I just thought I'd share that with you. So, just a little bit of an introduction. The Narayani remedies on the test matrix were introduced by me, and back in 1997, they were put into the matrix. Now, if you're familiar with the Narayani, there's a couple of terminology I'll just get you used to. It says Narayani mixture. These are just classical mixtures of classical homeopathic remedies. Then there was, it'll say Narayani OM. OM means organo mixtures. Organo. So it's to deal with the actual physical organs. And then we had Narayani specials. Now Narayani BR, which are balancing remedies. Now, all the balancing remedies are in a 50 potency, and we found that they do work extremely well. And then one more set of remedies in there is Narayani Special. So Narayani Special, number one, is the removal of superimpositions. The Narayani Special 2 is divine protection. And in the special remedies, we have 41 of them. And of the 41 remedies, those are actually a combination that was evolved using all the original remedies. So in total, we have 215 remedies. And in your practice, you could actually use the homeopathic activation panel and create your own remedies on the test plate. Because, you know, the way things are happening with laws changing, governments taking other things away, homeopathics being taken away. So I thought of an idea that we can actually create our own remedies. So basically what we're doing is we're imprinting the signature into a liquid on the test plate. And are you all familiar to make remedies on the test plate? Okay, so we'll come to that. These are all the Narayani remedies. It's one of the sub-files. So a little bit of history. Who was Narayani? I'm going to go here. This one. No. On the stick, yeah. Okay, go back up. Conference 2018? No, 2018. Okay. So, who was Narayani? This is, her name was Norma Harmon. She was Dr. Norma Harmon, a homeopathic doctor in South Africa. And back in 1972, she treated me for a condition that no doctor could resolve. So she treated me with homeopathic remedies. And she was running a free clinic, the laser pointer. And I got really interested in homeopathy, but at that time, she solved my problem, and I moved to my family. We immigrated to Canada. And so I was in Canada for just about 2 years, and then I had contracted tuberculosis. And I went through the conventional treatment in Canada for TB. So I spent 4 months in a sanatorium with antibiotics every day and streptomycin injections. So when the doctors felt I was clear, then I went back to South Africa. And that's her there, and there she is. And she was starting a group of students, teaching them homeopathy. And I said, right, I'm in. So she started a group of 8 people. And I was this is the first group that she ever started teaching. So we spent 2.5 years with her. The first 6 months we just were in the medicine room looking at her prescriptions and preparing the remedies and giving to the people. And we had classes twice a week, and then we went out to actual sites where we would go into areas where people are really, really poor. And we would just follow her around, take notes. And then finally, 6 months later, she called me and my best friend and said, come on up. So she took us to one of the centers, and it was we had a mobile clinic. So she sat back, and there were about 50 people waiting in line there, and she said, there's your patients. She just threw us in the running water. And I haven't stopped since. So, and then I treated myself homeopathically to detox what medical people had suppressed in my body with TB. And that's when I realized how powerful homeopathy is. So in homeopathy, have you heard of miasms? So one of the miasm that I was afflicted with was TB. So the nosode is a remedy that we use to try and remove some of the miasms in people's bodies. So we normally take 1 dose of a miasm once a week, but I was brave enough, so I took 1 dose a day. At the end of 30 days, things were coming out of my body that it was unexplainable. Like out of my right nostril, I had pus coming out, like just draining and draining and draining. Eventually, I developed a perianal abscess, extremely painful. So I went to the surgeon and asked him just to lance it, but it burst. So the pain went from 100 to 0. But because I got a lot of family members who are doctors, they said, no, we got to take you to the hospital. So they surgically removed and gouged the whole area of flesh below my tailbone. And it was excruciating pain. So I finally went home, and I let my anger out on my uncle, who's the doctor. And there again, they push antibiotics again. So finally, within a week, I developed 6 carbuncles on my hand, right here. So the body was already in the detox mode. So the body is going to find an opening to get rid of whatever toxins in the body. So I said to my uncle, I said, leave me alone. This I can deal with. 6 weeks later, this thing drained, and there was just clean blood coming out of it. And we used comfrey. You know, comfrey, the plant. One side is fuzzy and one side is smooth. When you put the fuzzy side on a wound, it acts as a drawing. It pulls things out. Once there's only fresh, clean blood coming out, you turn the smooth side of the leaf and you put that on there. I don't even have a scar to this day. It's completely healed. And I came back to Canada, and I was treating people from home just because I just love treating people. And a friend came along to me and said, listen, you need some paperwork in Canada so you can set up a practice. So he said, why don't you take on TCM acupuncture? So I said, sure. So I took 3.5 years of TCM acupuncture, and I put up a shingle, and I started my clinic. And I had sleepless nights. How do I charge people? It's not in my nature. So I called her, and she said, you have a family, you have rent to pay, figure out what it costs you, and set up a clinic. So I did it. And in 1996, I met Professor Nelson, and I saw the QXCI device. Back in South Africa, we were working with a lot of radionic devices. We did everything manually. When I saw the QXCI device, I said, oh my God, this is all the radionic stuff put together in one program. So I came home and I told my wife, I said, this is the program I need to get. But I didn't have 2 pennies to rub because I just started my clinic. And 2 days later, the bank manager called and said that your business has been chosen. We're going to provide you a line of credit. So that was my answer. And the QXCI developed into the Skio, and then the Indigo, and then the Educta. So the journey begins. And to all of you, don't be afraid to use the device. You're not going to do anything wrong. If you feel you have to work with it, you want to push a button, do it. There is a natural protection in the device that it would not do anything wrong. That's why we get the alarms. So don't let it intimidate you, because each one is going to develop your own. You'll find your own route that, hey, I find this works better. So when I hold workshops in Toronto, I have about 15, 20 practitioners. We get together and we have a workshop, and each one is allowed. Come in and say what you did. Oh, thank you. So another thing I'm going to show you is I'm going to give something to, I'll probably put it up on the website for Mandelay. I've created a manual, a digital manual for the Narayani formulas. You can download it on your computer. There's an alphabetical index, matrix index, and an actual icon that you can set up on your bar at the bottom. And you click on it, it opens up the dictionary. You scroll down to the remedy you want, and you read what's in the remedies and how to use it. It's really simple. And the remedies, the Narayani remedies, are being used in Hungary, Russia, Kazakhstan, India, Mauritius, South Africa, pretty South America, pretty much around the world. And when you run a test on somebody, there's a few little keys I find that you can use to quickly assess what's going on with the client. After you run your test, go to the sub-files, go to Narayani and see what's the top 5. And also look at what's the lowest one. And make a note of that. Because you pretty much have a general picture of what's going on with the client. And then you go around searching all your other things and figuring out what could be going on with the client. I gave you a sheet that I sent around, which we have created. It's very important to look at the see, we put the patient's name, date of birth, address, the present concerns and the past concerns, and what's the medical diagnosis. And then also we want to know about their families, the siblings, any health issues. And then what kind of medications that they are on. And then when the test is done, we make a little note for ourselves where the cellular stress bar is. And then which, on the left-hand side, we get the reactivity, dysfunction, these areas here. So you just click which ones the body is going. When the test is done, we put the bar hope scores. And what the therapies of unconscious choice, what the computer picked, we see what, and we just do those therapies first. Any questions so far? have PowerPoint here. Oh. Oh, okay. See, what is the basis of homeopathy? We treat the vital force in a body. The vital force is our own healing powers. Would what we get from what we inherited environmentally, and what toxins that are entered into our body changes the vital force. So, the life force, the true man, and the material body, which is the universal force, mental force, and the physical. And the vital force, again, explaining the three levels. Now, what I found that the universal higher consciousness is totally in sync with our device. The physical body practitioner consciousness is one level, and the mental body of the patient consciousness. So this all works in tandem. And how often we've heard about the trivector? Now, what happens when the vital force gets disturbed? How it gets disturbed is inherited conditions, miasms, and spiritual conflict. The physical body gets affected by toxins from environment, food chain, vaccinations, allopathic medications, trauma, surgery, and more recently, the electromagnetic radiation, EMFs. The mental body, anger, greed, worry, fear, jealousy, ego, self-pity. Now, miasms, a diseased mind plus disturbed vital force, results in chronic physical ailments. Through repetition from generation to generation, becomes a force of its own, lying deep in the system waiting to show up. Hence, we know them as miasms. There are two types, inherited and acquired. These are the four miasms that I'm sure most of you are familiar with. There is Sora, which is all of mankind has that miasm. Then there's gonorrhea, which is psychosis, syphilis, and TB. Now, TB is a combination of Sora and syphilis. And what Hahnemann did was he recorded a lot of, like he would create what is called the materia medica, where they would do proving. And he had like a mental situation, description of a Sora person, a psychosis person, syphilitic person, a TB person. And even today, I would say that the combination of all four is what we get today is the cancer miasm. A system of healing that was discovered by Dr. Samuel Hahnemann. The treatment involved the use of diluted substances from animal, plant, mineral, chemical substances, and discharges from actual disease. And the diagnosis and treatment is based on balancing body, mind, and spirit. Now we have a tool here that can do so much of that. We can work at the physical body level, we can work at the mental body level, and as what Alex showed you, we took it to another level. So once you bring everything into harmony, you can actually, people can leave your place, feeling better. And of course, they do get what is the situation sometimes, like a detox effect, or sometimes they feel worse before they get better. But on the whole, their core is starting to heal. In homeopathy, are you familiar with potencies? Why I'm showing you this is then when I show you how to prepare remedies on the test plate, how to use what remedy. In the potency referred to as X and D is a 1 to 9 dilution, which becomes 1 in a 10 dilution. 1 to 100 dilution is a C potency, and K potency is 1 to 100, but all the potencies are made in the same vial. So basically, when you say 1K, that means if you say 100K, in that it'll have a potency of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up to 100. Whereas when a C potency is done, it's just they take an original substance, take 100 drops, they succuss it, they pour it out. They take the 1 drop of that with another 100 drops of alcohol, succuss it again, now you've got a 2C. And the LM potency is 1 in a 50,000 dilution. Now the interesting thing is what they found, that the higher the dilution, the more powerful the remedy becomes. And Dr. Hahnemann, how he discovered this was, he carried his remedies in vials. He was on a horse and buggy, going on cobblestone roads, and his vials were and with all the succussion continuously, the further he got to his patients, the more he traveled, the stronger the remedies became. In case of children, I found children and animals respond the quickest to homeopathic remedies. With children, I use a 200 potency because it addresses a problem very quickly and very effectively. I will put this presentation on so you can actually download it if you want. No, it's all about sharing. 6x potency conditions for chronic conditions can be repeated often. 30 is also for chronic and also can be repeated often. 200 works at a higher energy levels but don't use it as often. But in acute situations, you can use them almost every 15 minutes. The moment the results take place, you can stop. The 1M potencies work on deep emotional crisis situations, or sometimes even 50M. The 50M mixtures that the Narayani are made for, we found they don't get the effect of detox effects or the Herkimer effect that you get. Another thing that I sent around a sheet, I was talking about the crystal pendant that Alex is wearing. It came to me about 10 years ago that I have to create something to help mankind. What is the biggest problem in the world today? How do people keep people under control? And it's fear. Everything is controlled by fear. Parents, doctors, lawyers, police, military, governments. The whole world is kept under control by fear. If they create fear, then you submit to whatever they want to do. Fear is an emotion that affects your kidneys. So I thought that I have to create a remedy that will help people's kidneys stay strong. So I took every possible remedy that my teacher made for kidneys. I took all the Chinese herbs that are for kidneys, and I went through the old-fashioned method of succussing each remedy manually, and it came out with one combination of one kidney formula, and it still needed something else. And I used a homeopathic remedy in a 200 potency, which is a dilution of a king cobra venom, which is no king cobra venom in there, but just the frequency in the 200 potency. Now, when a cobra bites you, your body starts to degenerate rapidly. But in the homeopathic state, it'll help your body regenerate. So I added that to the remedy, and I created this mixture, and I could feel it. And people, friends of mine who are sensitive, I had them feel it, and they instantly If you remember Dr. Igor Saitojevic from Cyprus, him and I are very close friends, so he was my first subject. I gave him the bottle of remedy. He picked it up and he put it down immediately, and he was holding his kidneys. He says it went right to his kidneys. So what I did is I imprinted that kidney remedy, including divine protection, Narayani divine protection, and I said I have to put it in something that's not expensive, easily accessible to people, and I put it in quartz. So one morning at about 3 o'clock in the morning when I get my ideas, I came out with the shape of it. So the shape is 16. The number 16 was somehow it came up. So those crystals are 16 millimeters, 16 facets, 16 facets, 16 facets. And I got them specially cut to that dimension, and I created that wheel with 8 claws on it. And the crystals have been charged with this remedy that I have, and I started distributing it. And people, when they hold the crystal in the hand, they actually can feel. I do have one that I can pass around. And just feel it and see what I would love feedback. And this kidney remedy, I also used, there's a center in Budapest where I work at. It's a center for mentally and physically challenged with a lot of autistic kids and cerebral palsy, all kinds of disabilities, and it's an NGO. And whenever I go for a conference there, I spend a week of my time working with these people. And Dr. Nelson, actually, I was going to give a device. I was going to forfeit my part of it and give a device to them, and he helped in it, and he gave them a device. And I trained them, and they're using the device for the people in that center. And there was one person who's been on dialysis 3 times a week with 0 kidney function. So 1 year on this remedy of mine, his kidney function, right kidney started to work, and the doctors couldn't believe it. So I said, just continue doing what we have to do. So that's one of the things that I got a thing that I had to do, so I created that. And we should take you to the homeopathic screen so we can, because we are pressed for time here. Here, we'll just open the program. Certainly. Uh-huh. We can still, you see, when they do a kidney transplant, they don't take the old kidney out. They just put the new kidney right here. When a kidney transplant is done, the original kidneys that are diseased are still in there, that are not functioning. So the new kidney is actually implanted right here. So that kidney is connected to the rest of the kidney system. So it won't hurt to even still try to help them. But I think one of the things is the people get on anti-rejection drugs. So it's a little tricky, but using this, we could probably use a skio if they have any issues, but the skio has built-in protection that it won't do anything that the body doesn't want. And as Alex said, that we can never put anything negative on any negative message. We cannot do that. Whatever we write on there, we have to create a positive message for it to work fully. I have the pointer. It's okay. I'll use this in the meantime. So, all of you have tested remedies using the auto-meridian screen, right? Fernando showed you how you can test it. My daughter, who has actually become quite a practitioner, and she found what she did is she would have the patient hold the remedy in the hand. And when you click on the box here, on this box here, once you click on it, that means activate all. So the patient's holding the remedy, and then we click on test reaction of remedy. And you see so anything over 80%, I would say it's good. That's also another way you can quickly test some remedies, because you only have about an hour and a half with the patient, and they have so many supplements that they want to test. So before I even test all of them, when I run a test on people, unfortunately we didn't have enough time today, but hopefully if I can get some other time, I can steal somebody else's time like Alex did mine. It's okay, he's my brother. So, I can show you, we can actually run a test and how quickly I look through things. And, in the matrix itself, it'll give you guidance as to what's deficient in a person. And we look at the nutritional panel, you can see, okay, these are the areas where they need some nutrition. So then you can test those items, because it's useless trying to test 20, 30 remedies. I had a lady who came to me, she had a breast cancer lump removed, and she went through the conventional treatment. Then she sought services of a naturopath, and she came to me, she made an appointment, and this lady walks in with a wheelie, hand luggage. I thought she was a sales lady. So I said, "What are you selling?" She said, "No, I'm your next patient." Whoa, okay. So, and then she said, "I would like to have all my remedies tested." So I figured maybe one or two, whatever. She opened the suitcase, there was 56. She had a compartment tray with 3 compartments this way and 7 this way. Each compartment was, no kidding, half a cup of pills. So I said, "When do you have time to eat?" And yet she was doing organic food, she was doing the infrared saunas, and she's doing all the right things. Plus this naturopath had put her on that many supplements. So fortunately I had a cancellation after her, so I could take that time. So we did all those 56 remedies. Only 3 resonated with her. No, actually I used the automeridian at the time. And when only 3 resonated, and the 3 that resonated were homeopathic. So she went back to a naturopath, came back a month later with 26 bottles. So I tested her again, and still the same 3 resonated. So finally she decided she's going to take a course in holistic nutrition. So she ended up taking a course. Automeridian, yes. Okay. Yeah, how you test. See, what I do first, we do start. And then after you do the start, you do the retest. You see, it's also very... sometimes it takes just a little bit of common sense into seeing the rationale on how the situation is. For example, someone comes with they say somebody sold them the supplement, it's excellent for memory or brain function or whatever. Then you put it on here, when we test it, and we go to neurological, nothing lights up there. So that remedy is doing nothing for the neurological. So I've seen this happen because it's the number of patients that we do. I just keep writing notes. And the other thing is, when you start your test with the patient, you make notes. Whatever you find on the matrix, get in a habit of writing the matrix numbers down. And little notes on what they are for. Because later on I can show you how you can piggyback those matrix numbers on therapy. Absolutely amazing what you can do with it. We put them on the test plate, yes. No. No, that's when we're checking the vitamins. But also, if you want to test, sometimes if you see something appeared on the matrix that's quite relevant to them, and if you see an individual reaction, a very high resonance and a low rectification, it means that they need it. If it's a high resonance and a high rectifications, that means at the moment they don't need it. No. High resonance. No, high resonance means that they're reacting to the substance strongly. Then you look at the rectification number. The rectification number is low. That means the body wants it. Especially when you do the individual reaction. It's taking long. Sorry. Uh-huh. Yep. No, you see, what is resonance? Resonance is something that if you strongly resonate to something, so the resonance number is high. But then you also look at the rectified number. If the rectified number is below 50, that means definitely you need that. At the same time, even if you want to check for any condition, if you type that condition in, or suppose on the matrix number something showed about cirrhosis of the liver, you take that matrix number on there. No, you click on it, go to individual reaction, and you see the scores. Suppose this rectification was low and the resonance was high, that means there is something going on in the liver. You don't tell them that they got cirrhosis of the liver, but all you just say is liver stress is high, it needs rectification. Then, you, as Alex says, you check interpret results. It'll tell you whether you do a 3-second, 33-minute zap. If you do a zap and the rectified number comes straight away up to 100, 105, you're okay. But if you do a zap and the rectification only came up by 10 points, then you know that there's issues with the liver. So then sometimes what I would even do, we hit retest, and if an item shows up and then after 2 or 3 tweaks, it still didn't rectify to over 100, then we know that this liver is showing a lot of stress. So on the main matrix, I go back, I type liver in the search, and I see everything that's relating to liver. So then you have to talk to the client and say, okay, have you been upset lately? Have you been under a lot of stress? Have you been very angry? Or have you been partying a lot? So you get a general idea, and then you can kind of pick up. And once you use those, and then by talking to them, and when you try to correct it, it'll correct a lot quicker. Because you need to tickle get it in the conscious mind, right? Now, one thing that I do for my, there's so much I can. I always click on make report, and I keep a report on my file because I like to keep this information. And then you close it here, hit close. Then you open this one, consciousness form testing. And I close it again. And then you diagnosis. And you see the repair button opens up, so I click on repair all. Then you go to the diagnosis, and then that repair all button opens up. And when you click on that, these things clear up if you get a correction. But sometimes, actually, I have to speak to the programmers. This is taking a little bit too long time. You have to sometimes do it about 6-7 times to get this thing all clear. But for the exercise, we'll skip that process right now, and we'll close it, and we'll come here. once you click on that box, on the item in empty tray, you click on there, this button opens up. You see, when you click on the empty box, the test the meridians item the button opens up. So now at this point, you can put the substance on the test tray and click test. Now, the whites are good, the fuchsias are good, the green is not good, and the yellow is not good. That means it's not doing anything for those areas. Now, for example, if the person does have a kidney issue, and the kidney is showing green, so you know that substance is not going to help them. So you also have to find out what their concerns are. Now, for example, if they tell you, I have a problem with my heart, I have a problem with my stomach, they are showing in white. So that means it's good for those organs. It's not, the substance that you tested is not going to help the lymphatic, it's not going to help the CV meridian, it's not going to help the connective tissue, it's not going to help the kidney. But those other ones so in this situation, I would still hold off on giving them the remedy because there's too many greens and yellows. Yeah, I've put the whole bottle on there, yeah. Oh, okay. Just repeat.
Do you always go through the protocol that you just showed us, those steps? Or can you go straight to this and just put it on the test tray and start testing? Because I've done that.
It's better to balance the meridians and then do the testing. So that means you're basically bringing a baseline. One more thing. Click on acupuncture pictures, Alex. Something here I was going to show you. I've used this line here. You can type in any matrix number or for any remedy that you find that the patient resonates too strongly, right there. You can go to, say, click bladder 10. Or just any point. Yeah. And the person that's the point here. And a lot of people get these headaches here in this area of the head. So I would support it with any item on the matrix here. And then you click test and treat. And I try to get it rectified here. If it's fully rectified, this red panel turns green. This panel here. I have a whole presentation on only on this automeridian screen. That's so much you can do with emotional, physical, mental. There's a lot you can do here. Actually, I am now past my time. Thank you, Alex. No, it's okay. It's okay. Don't worry. I'm going to, hopefully, I may be able to steal somebody else's time. Thank you. I'm sorry I couldn't present more. Take care.
Now, there is so much more that Bala can share, and so much more than Alex can share, and all of the speakers. And part of them being here is the intimate one-on-one time with you. So at breaks, at lunch, don't hesitate. Please approach us. Please ask us your questions as they pertain to the information we're talking about and or the meaning of life. Whatever it is that we can share that, and if you're looking for the meaning of life, love, and everything, 42. 42. Yep. 42 is the meaning of life, love, and everything. And if you don't know what that means, you haven't seen Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy or read the book. Yeah.
44 years is I'm doing homeopathy.
44 years?
Yeah.
And I'm 42 years old, so 42. Secret to life, love, and everything. 42. Yes. Is there any way that Bala can present more at the end of our day today? Wow. Okay, I am not master of schedule. I am just the monkey that they put in front of everybody, so I will ask the master of schedule from a monkey, can we fit a 45-minute Bala stint in?
At the end of the day, after Jeff. Okay?
Okay, and I have not yet told all of the practitioners or all of the instructors like Alex and Bala and Jeff and Veronica and... Well, no, right now I'm not asking. Right now I'm imposing. Actually, you'll notice my lecture tomorrow is, I think, at 2 to 4, right? And then there's a 45-minute Q&A afterwards for any and all questions that have come up from the conference. That's not just going to be, what?
He's not here tomorrow.
Oh, Bala's not here tomorrow.
I have a flight out.
You're that important.
Can we do it tonight?
The 45 minutes, can we do it tonight? Afterwards? Yes, we can. And for the rest of the speakers tomorrow at 4, after my lecture, we're going to bring all of us that are still here and bring them up for a panel. And then that way you can ask questions as to how should we approach this and hear multiple perspectives, of course, mine being the best. Of course.